Welcome, everyone, and we're bringing you another episode of Tunica Voices. Today we have with us Tribal Administrator Tim Martin. Tim, how are you today?
Good afternoon, David. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Man, it's great to have you on the show. I know that you're coming aboard at a time that's very, very crazy, with the tribe and the state. I mean, we have the COVID-19 luring over us, and then we have hurricane season, which I'm sure you're enjoying that. I mean, that's got to be a whole new different situation for you. What are your thoughts about some of the things that you've had to deal with here lately with not only the issues with the things going on, the catastrophic events, but also as your role as tribal administrator?
I have to say, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I have been welcomed with open arms. Since day one, I've been like drinking water from a fire hose.
Wow.
Like you said, hurricanes, the COVID, and then the day-to-day operations of the tribe. I'm enjoying my time here. I take for granted the job that I am doing and want to do. Have a lot of good people working for the tribe. We're bringing and recruiting new people. Think of myself like a coach. You got to recruit a good team to up the level of play.
Oh, without a doubt.
And the upping the level of play means that we elevate the standard of living for the Tunica people, and that's what we want to do.
That's a great thing, and I think that's what the community wants to hear. I know that you've been involved a lot with some of the things happening, with the CARES Act, the HEROES Act, and you were at one time a very active advocate in Washington, D.C. with the USET organization. I know you were the director there. Tell us a little bit about that and how that lends itself to what you're doing now for the tribe.
I was executive director with USET, representing 24 tribes at that time.
Wow.
In 11 states, from Maine to Florida to Texas. Tunica was one of the proud members of that and was one of the staunch members. Chairman Barbary at the time, there was a mentor of mine. That was one of the reasons I wanted to come here, to restore and elevate the things that he had in philosophy, what he wanted to tribe. He and I had, several conversations. He loved this tribe, and I wanted to be able to see some of the things that he thought about fulfilled here. And this current council is well on the way of doing that. I think that they're progressive in doing that. Back to your question about being the executive director of USET. I was fortunate enough to be the executive director for 11 years, from 1996 to 2006, a little bit over 10 years. And with that, through my tenure and the help of the USET member tribes, we established USET as one of the, if not the most influential, one of the top 2 or 3 entities that assisted in making Indian policy.
I know that when we would go for Impact Week, y'all would have a lineup from congressmen to senators, from attorney generals, and through committee. I mean, you guys were able to get a lot of things done.
We were. We didn't lobby because it was a 501c3 organization, but we educated.
There you go.
And you'll find a lot of times the congressmen, the senators, even the heads of agencies are oblivious to Indian policy and didn't even understand the ramifications of some of the actions they were taking. So we educated them to do that. And through that education, we built USET into a force to be reckoned with. In essence, the government came to the USET tribes when they were making decisions, and they wanted to know what USET thought about that. And through the committee system, as you said, you served on different committees up there. We were able to divide up the government in the different agencies that impacted tribal people. And then we made the connections to those agencies. So therefore, we knew when that agency was making a decision, we knew if it was going to be a negative or positive impact. And we tried to shape it where we could make it the most positive we could in relationship to our member tribes.
That's excellent. So I'm going to take a question a different way. I'm a tribal member, and I'm not, up to speed on everything that's going on with the tribe or what the tribe is looking at, as far as moving forward. You being a progressive person, along with a progressive council, what would your vision and goals be, and some of the things you want to accomplish in 2021?
I think as far as given the COVID, and you have to take that into account, But this council has made the commitment to be more transparent. And you do that by informing the tribal membership. They're talking about ways to be able to make the council meetings electronic, that people can view it through a portal and those type of stuff. But it is also by communication the old-fashioned way.
Right.
Word of mouth. Okay. Also, the membership seeing what's going on in the community, and by that they will know something is changing.
Right.
And if they see things are changing, that perks their interest, and they'll reach out and ask questions. We have to stand ready to answer those questions consistently and appropriately.
Tim, I know that a lot of times when you're trying to get things done, there's a lot of layers of bureaucracy, right? Mm-hmm. You have to go through these channels in order to get things done. But I know that you've worked diligently in finding funding for different projects and programs. Tell us a little bit about your role.
I think you have to take the COVID situation, as bad as it is, and it is bad. One death loss is one death too many.
Oh, yeah.
But the resources that the tribe has been able to obtain in this, we can utilize those resources to improve the livelihood and to overcome the negative impact that COVID has had on some of our tribal members. But we can also, based upon the use of those monies and the ability to communicate to tribal members, will elevate their livelihood by informing them, which will pay dividends in the future to the tribe.
Well, I know there's conversations in reference to a new hire, a health director that y'all brought along. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about him, and also that there's, I've heard, and I don't know if this is rumor or not, possible health clinic down the road as well.
No, that's exciting news. We'll let people know. Through the council, they made a decision that they were going to change from our current setup of, in essence, you go into a doctor somewhere and we simply pay the bill. We're going to have a doctor, nurse practitioner, RN on staff here, that they can come in and get direct services here. We capture those resources in this community. If it has to be referred out, we still can refer it out. So the person that's going to their doctor can still go to that doctor. We want to encourage them to come to us, but we understand it's going to be a growth period. So it's going to be a balance between an ambulatory clinic on site and still doing the PRC, the payment to outside vendors. We're looking at, and it's a change of philosophy from what has been in the past, of how can we turn $1 over multiple times on the reservation before it leaves the reservation. Building a tribal economy in there, and there's ways that you can do that by using the federal funds, state funds, local funds we get, and leverage them to do more things.
You know, that's wonderful news, and I think a lot of the members will really be elated that they can start going to a clinic and having those services in-house. And, you know, we have a lot of different departments. I mean, you know, we have our housing, and we have, you know, other departments that also, you know, cater to a lot of different members, whether they're elders, whether it's education. And I know you're working a lot in some of those areas as well.
One of the things I'm trying to instill here is that to a large extent, the history has been here where a lot of departments have been siloed. They stay within their lane. I'm bringing an approach of being holistic, cross-pollination between different departments. Social services connects to health, it connects to housing, law enforcement, court. Looking at the family as a whole unit that understands that person may come to us for one reason, right, but there's multiple other reasons why we need to help them. Be able to do that as more of a holistic view of that family, and how do we elevate that family? Economic development, housing, health, those types of areas that we need to let those tribal members live the American dream, okay? And that means we elevate the standard of living for the Tunica people to the highest level we can.
Well, you're hitting all the marks. You know, you're talking about all the things that concern all our tribal members, and I think that every tribal member, whether from birth or to the time that they, you know, leave to a greater place, you know, that there's an interest that they need to be involved, and there's always something that is going to be part of what their daily lives are from this tribe.
I like to say we're going to try to take people from cradle to grave. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
On this, but now I would ask people to be patient.
Right.
It didn't. If you feel that the tribe is doing something wrong, it didn't get there overnight.
Right.
And you're not going to fix it overnight. Okay. But it takes everybody taking personal responsibility that they're going to be a contributor, not just someone that's just going to continue to throw rocks and hang grenades and all those types of things that can happen. Now, I'm Porch Creek, come from Alabama. We have it in our tribe too. That's just human nature on us. But if you can be consistent, then people will start to respect the fact, okay, I understand what the tribe stands for, and I hope that we can instill in them a pride of what the tribe stands for. Okay. And that stands for prosperity for everyone, accountability for everyone.
I like it, Tim. That's some really, well-spoken words, and it carries a lot of impact if everything is done, in that methodology. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. We have a little segment that we try to find out a little bit about you, yourself, and some of the things you enjoy or don't enjoy. But my first question is, what's your favorite food, Tim?
I'm a steak and potatoes guy.
All right.
Good steak.
You're okay in Louisiana then.
Good grilled steak, potatoes. Gumbo ain't bad either.
We like our rice and gravy,
exactly right. I think I'm part Chinese because I eat rice 3 times a day.
Let me ask you this. Favorite college team?
Oh, Alabama. I'm from Alabama. My oldest son went to Auburn. And so I'm proud I have 4 boys. All 3 of the 4 finished college. The one that didn't finish college, he likes fires. He runs into a burning building. He's a EMT and firefighter for our tribe over there.
First responder, man.
First responder.
It's a great thing. That's a service, man, and that's something that everybody can commend.
Yep.
So, you told me about your food, and you told me about your favorite college. What is it you like to do when you're not being the tribal administrator on your off time? Something that you enjoy. And it could be eating. That's okay.
I eat out of necessity. I'm not a connoisseur of food, nothing like that. But I like to walk. I get out and walk. I love nature. Get out and see this. I'm a golfer, so I hack it around on the course. I use up all the course in there, but it's fun. And I like watching football. Anything is just different outlets as far as entertaining in that way. I'm in a high stress job, so therefore I have to find a way to unplug. And I find when I unplug, I can come back and make a better decision. If I weigh over that decision and put in too many hours, I get to where my effectiveness tails off.
Okay.
I'd rather unplug, come back and hit it fresh, and then seek advice. Advice from the tribal council.
Yeah, listening, right.
Advice from colleagues, those types of things. I've been very fortunate. I worked for my tribe most of my life, other than the time I went to USET. So things that I'm doing here, I'm accustomed to. Things that I did for my tribe.
It's more of a natural fit.
It's more of a natural fit. And I've kind of surprised myself to remember some things I thought I'd forgot it. But I said, okay, I did that before. Here's what will work.
Right.
Then you bounce that off people before you put it in there. I'm not saying we're perfect. By no means are we perfect. But I don't think we will intentionally do anything wrong. And with that, I hope we can gain the respect and the confidence of the tribal membership that we're trying to do right. We may come up short sometime, but we are trying to do right.
Well, and that's even including wearing the purple and gold every now and then. And I'm not gonna force that on the Roll Tide there, but go Tigers, right? But
I think I recently lost a golf game that I got to do that.
Well, you know what? It's all right, man. It's just showing that
that's just one day.
Yeah, that's it. Supporting the community, right?
Exactly right.
Look, Tim, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give us some closing remarks, and if you want to say something that's on your mind that maybe we haven't touched on, please feel free to.
Well, I turn to the camera and talk to the Tunica people. I'm happy to be here. My door is always open in there. Or stop me on the street if you see me out there. If I walk by you, I didn't see you because I had something on my mind, stop me in there and ask me the questions. I will, to the best of my ability, try to explain that question to your satisfaction. If not, then I will get people to be able to explain it to you. I look forward to meeting people as my tenure continues. I'm here for the long haul. I like it here. I like the people here. And together, I think this tribe is poised on this cusp of doing some great things. And I'm looking forward and excited about the future of the Tunica people.
Tim, we want to first tell you thank you for joining us today. We wish you well in any and all your endeavors. We hope that you take to heart, our people and our community, because we welcome you to be here, and we're glad that you're here. And I think you'll be a great service to our tribe and our tribal members.
Thank you, Dave. But I want to put a plug in for y'all guys. Being the PAC and doing the political things you do, a lot of tribal members, they like to see instant results. I would hope they realize the things you do is not for the short gain, it's for the long term. And it will pay dividends. And it's something you have to do. You have to keep yourself on the pulse. And you have to keep communicating and educating legislators on the local level, state level, national level, because they're not used to dealing with Indian tribes. And so it is your responsibility, my responsibility, council's responsibility to keep those people educated.
Well, thank you, Tim, and I appreciate that. Along with Spencer, my cohort over there, we're gonna get it done. And you're right, you gotta remain relevant. If you're not relevant, then they pass you up.
I think of it this way: if you think of sovereignty as a muscle, if you don't exercise that muscle, then it'll go lame. Or you think the other way: if you don't exercise, somebody will fill that vacuum, and you'll find yourself losing control of your future. And we want to be self-determining, that the Tunica people decide what is best for the Tunica people.
I love that. Self-determination is what it's all about. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. Tim, you've been a great interview. And anytime that we have our leadership in front of us, our committee members, or anyone that is involved in the Tunica tribe, we want to let them know that we expect accountability in our leadership, and that we will continue to make sure that we're staying on course to get the job done. And that's what we're here for. Thank you again.